Mr. Speaker, I am happy that when we went through the circles, when we did the circles, Mr. Speaker, it is back to the House here again for the approval. And I am grateful. For once, it will demonstrate the commitment of both sides. Two, it will tell the country that it was not a deliberate attempt or refusal of the MPP government or Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo for not assenting this bill. The process is clear. And Mr. Speaker, there are times that the Speaker has made conflicting statements from what the majority leader has also made. So, Mr. Speaker, if we are here today and everybody here is witnessing that you have a overwhelming majority of the House that can even take a day to pass this bill, Mr. Speaker, I am happy. I am only urging that just like we passed the gold board bill, Mr. Speaker, just like we did the, the e-levy bill, just like we did other bills with certificate of urgency, Mr. Speaker, it is important that we add some urgency to this LGBTQ bill.
It's an act of law, which is why the framers of the Constitution said when the bill is presented to the President, it was not presented to the President, which is why the Secretary to the President clearly stated by the letter read by the Majority Chief Whip, says the President Secretary indicated at the time that Parliament should desist from presenting the bill to the President. So, Mr. Speaker, it is my submission that that bill was not presented to the President, properly so called, within the four corners of Article 106, 7 and 8, as you quite rightly pointed out.
Parliament, the Clerk of Parliament, in looking for the President to present a bill to him, cannot be going to Makola. He cannot be going to Accra Sports Stadium. Even if the President is attending a function at the Accra Sports Stadium, he can only go to the Flagstaff House, the Jubilee House, the official residence. And for years, we've been passing bills. The clerk does not carry the bill and go and hand over to the President directly. He doesn't. He carries it. Listen, he carries it to the Secretary to the President, and they arrange the days when the bill will be assented to, and then he comes and sits there. Because it is my commitment that in the next 2 weeks, we must pass this bill. We must pass this bill. I don't subscribe. I don't subscribe to people sponsoring a bill and abandoning the bill halfway.
Sunrise.
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me too?
Yes, I can.
Great. Yes. This is okay. This is what we're asking you this morning. That based on the journey of the bill and what has happened in Parliament and what happened in Parliament on Friday, explain to us legally what the passage of this bill means.
Good morning. Let me also wish your listeners and those who are watching on social media a warm morning. And to say that finally the bill has been passed, the family value bill, which sometime in 2024 generated heated conversation and as to whether or not the president then, it was transmitted, whether or not the passage of that bill was transmitted to the president then, and whether or not Supreme Court had the opportunity to strike out the bill for various reasons. Finally, it's been passed. But we need to be mindful. If it was passed just recently, that was last week, and what has been the euphoria? You remember, if you have to monitor the conversation so far compared to what pertained in 2024, you know that the current euphoria has not been that intense as compared to the one we saw in 2024. And the explanation is that, unlike the passage this year, the 2024 passage was or had a ring, had a partisan ring to the entire conversation. So there was this attempt to push the governing New Patriotic Party then to pass or to push the president to assent to the bill. But you will notice that there have been some structural changes to the bill. And I know that is the angle the minority is pushing from, that if they knew that the bill which was passed in 2024 was not fit for purpose, why were they pushing the president to assent to same? But I think this is not a sound argument to make, because the thing is that if Parliament makes or passes a bill, and that Parliament, as it was constituted, then believe that that bill was fit for purpose, they have been given the responsibility. In fact, they have the right to do that. So if they believe the bill was fit for purpose, and there's a new Parliament, which is a ninth Parliament, which that Parliament believes that the previous bill, which was passed by the previous Parliament, was not fit for purpose, and that there must be some structural changes made to say, I think they are within their legal rights. But we must understand that Parliament can pass a bill, but in passing the bill, Parliament must make sure that they do not cross the threshold, a particular threshold.
Mm-hmm.
Because the right to pass a bill does not mean the right to undermine the Constitution.
Okay.
The freedoms and rights granted in the Constitution.
Okay.
We must be very careful of that.
Okay.
Now, you would notice that the opposition New Patriotic Party has gone to town with a claim that there's
Hello, Austin, can you hear me? We seem to have lost him. But let's speak right now to the Honorable Asafo J. Is the Member of Parliament for Bosome Freho, joining us on the phones right now. He was in Parliament while the debate on the anti-gay bill, if you like, was heated in Parliament, and the minority, they made their position very clear on some of the concerns they have. Honorable, thank you for joining us. Good morning to you.
Thank you, my good brother. How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you. The bill has been passed. It was by majority decision, if you like, in Parliament. But the minority, they had a few concerns with specific issues or specific aspects of this bill. Honorable, what is the concern of the minority?
So, I want to thank you and then greet your viewers and your listeners. Let me do a little background to this brief one, if you allow me. You see, the NPP, the political party, is not against the bill. The Nana Akufo-Addo never stood or blocked any bill in principle. The NPP government in 2016, our campaign message never captured anywhere about LGBTQ bill. In 2020, it never did. We never mentioned it. We were focused on other things. Then, somewhere along the line in Parliament, 9 NDC members, in Reverend Intinfodo, making 10, now sponsored private members' bill. Just like my good brother, A+ want to sponsor a bill that when you are going to give them or when you give them, they should do a paternity test. It was just the way this bill came in. Let us also put on record that the 8th Parliament was a strong-headed Parliament. 137. In fact, the sponsors of the bill, led by Sam George and Honorable Beja, were leading the bill. They worked on their bill, they drafted their bill, they did everything on the bill. The bill went through the process. In fact, many people had issues with clauses of the bill. You could recall. This was where Honorable Animedu nearly lost his seat, because Honorable Animedu were against sections and clauses of the bill, but he was listed as anti-gay person. Everybody has sought to question any bill or any part of the bill has issues with Sam George. He will come to you, he will go head on and front with you. In fact, there was a point in time in Parliament, Speaker Agbagbin, everybody, the members in the House, if you know you are against the bill, stand up. And your people will hear you.
Right.
People were almost victimized if they were going to speak against sections of the bill. So the bill passed anyways, because it became a political tool, and you will not stand in the way of such a thing. You passed the bill. You went ahead. The sections of the stakeholders, the matter to court. Because of some process and some renditions and some interpretations, they took the case to court. Exempted the Parliament from transmitting the bill to the President. Parliament attempted doing the transmission against the injunctions of the court. Then the Secretary to the President reminded you that there is an injunction, so don't transfer it, so that the President don't want to be contemptuous of the court. So John Dramani Mahama even admitted after he became president that the bill never got to Akufo-Addo. Now you come back in power. The bill you were pushing Akufo-Addo to sign, the bill you thought was fit for purpose, the bill you had no problems with, today you are finding renditions differently. You are defining and interpreting words differently. You are inserting other clauses, and you are changing words. The question is that if you knew this was right or this was wrong, then you pushing Akufo-Addo to sign.
But Honorable, what response would you give to the opinion or to the say that it was because of the concerns that the NPP raised at that time that has informed the decision the NDC, the minority, has taken right now?
So then thank the MPP. This argument is something to go back. And thank the MPP that they raised concern to prevent a fatal bill from being passed. If that is the argument you are moving. The point we are making is that there was a whole lot of noise in this country that, hey, the bill needed was a signature. All the bill needed was an asset. They never told us the bill needed amendments. They never told us the bill was going to be fatal in the condition in which it was in the 8th Parliament. They never did that. So this is where we have concern that why will you demonize a man? You believe, you even said that never received the bill. It created the impression as he was the blockade of the bill. Why will you victimize the man when you knew that there were some fatal clauses in the bill you needed to work on it? So the sponsors of the bill knew this along, and they were playing politics with the bill, only to come to Parliament today, and now the position the MPP held, the position other Ghanaians and other stakeholders held, that look, there are some things to be done in the bill. You now come to do those things and pass. And the point I'm making here is that it tells you technically that the two bills that the bill you sent to Akufo-Addo is different from this bill. Granted, we must understand that. If we understand that, then the conversation will be set on a good premise. Because you cannot amend 31 process and say it is the same old bill. Never.
Okay, so now let's go back to the intention of the bill itself. In 2024, the bill under President Akufo-Addo, it had a certain aim. Now, the bill under President Mahama also has a certain aim. Do you think, or is it the minority's position, that the aim or the object of this bill has changed based on the amendments made?
Why, I will come there, but why are you not interested in the hypocrisy? Why are you not interested in the fact that people took advantage of everyone in this country? You seem not to be interested in that area. That it appears is not important to you. If somebody was Christian in this country, he is the champion of this act. When you knew that was not the story. When you knew it was not the story. Now, let us go into your question. You see, when you look at the bill carefully, you tell me and you understand that many of the things in the bill are a collection of things around other laws that have been put together. The intention of the bill is to have a unique area that when you go, you can have laws or legal regimes to deal with a certain issue. So you can, in the bill, you will find clauses that are being picked from the Children's Act. You find clauses that are being picked from the Marriage Act. You find even the Constitution of Ghana is clear on our position on these LGBTQ things. The area which I believe necessitated the argument was the promotion, the advocacy, and the propaganda of this bill. Because it got to a time in Ghana, you could see physical billboards of this. You would see people championing the act to the point that they were forcing down our kids in the school to practice and to understand it. That was the fear. So the belief and my understanding is that we are bringing some bill to curb that. So if you look at the bill properly, you realize that if the perpetrators, the sanctions to the perpetrators, lesser than the sanctions to the promoters. Because the bill was to deal with the promotion, the advocacy, the propaganda of the act. And what parts of the bill is in clause 9? The crux of the bill is in clause 9. So if you read Akufo's clause 9, it was clear, and it is, I don't know which word to use. The clause 9b, it says that a person shall not, listen to me, a person shall not promote or support and prohibited under this act. P, engage in, participate in, promote or support and aimed at changing public opinion towards an act prohibited under this act. C, premises, any other movable or immovable asset, or provide any form of assistance for purposes of promoting an act prohibited under this section. So this section 9 under the 8th Parliament law, bill was clear and gave no room to anyone. If in my local palace you say that irrespective of who you are,
right,
you must follow this one.
True.
Now you bring an amendment to say that there are some category of people that they will not be affected by clause 9. It's exempted under clause 9. So somebody says that legal or professional work. The fear here is that, and I don't think that the 8th Parliament bill had issues with a lawyer going to represent an LGBTQ person. No. But there's a thin line. If you give that lawyer a room and you exempt him from this act, if you have a lawyer that is an advocate, he will use the legal regime and the legal professional way to advocate.
So it becomes a leeway.
It becomes a leeway. If you give an academic, if you give an academic a leeway that he can publish research findings, he can write academic papers. So where are we getting this promotion from? They are coming from things we see in books, things we see online and read, things we see here. So you are giving this leeway to this academic person. If the person is a promoter, advocate, you are giving him an open playfield to do research, to bring out findings that is skewed towards promoting the LGBTQ issue. So you can see, you give, there's a point where that is even, the reporting of news, current affairs by a media house or journalist in the ordinary course of journalism. You see how dangerous this is. And the point we are making here, I'm making 2 points. The point I'm making here, one, is you cannot tell me that this bill is the same as the bill you wanted the Akufo-Addo to sign. No, that issue, I think it's settled. 2, now, if I tell you that you are watering down the potency of the bill, this is where it is. This is where the point is. So now, as journalists, you see, ordinarily, you cannot find anybody promoting LGBTQ. You only find them on TV. You only find them on radio. You only see them on your screens. And you are giving a leeway to a journalist who is a bad journalist or who is an advocate or a promoter. What do you think the journalist will do?
So it becomes an opportunity for the person to take advantage of this opening to advance the work of LGBTQ+.
That is exactly my point.
Right.
That's exactly my point. So the point is that if you don't introduce these exemptions, the journalist can do your journalism work. Are you not doing your journalism work? Your journalism work. If you are reporting on LGBT, you are reporting on LGBTQ. You exempt the person and now allow a lacuna, a space for somebody who is with the bad intention to take advantage of. That is the fear. Now, the most dangerous one is the dissemination of information by governmental bodies, non-governmental bodies. These are the people who largely promote, fund, support the NGOs, the development partners. This is the fear. This is where the fear is. So, my good brother and friend, I decided not to speak ahead of the presser. But like I told you, I mean, I respect you, I respect your station, and this is important that we put some of these things out. Our point is to the MPP. We have never been against the bill. Our point is that, so you knew all these things. Example, let me give you a critical example. The new bill, the old bill had the word citizen, meaning that if you are non-citizen, you can do activity in Ghana. So the bill you were pushing Akufo-Addo to sign, Akufo-Addo was going to only sign a bill that would have only be applicable to people who are citizens. So a South African can come and stay in Ghana and be doing what he wants. Nigerians can be in Ghana and be doing what they want. Now, Akufo-Addo didn't sign because of some of these things. This new bill, you have now changed the citizen to person, meaning whether you are a citizen or a non-citizen, so if you are in Ghana, you do anything like that, you will be arrested, or the law will apply to you. You see how Akufo-Addo saved a fatal bill, and people victimized him when we were falling for conscience. And now we have a parliament that they have the majority, so now people are listening. Everybody wants to listen. The 8th parliament, nobody wants to listen to anybody. You won't even listen to anybody. And you will be victimized for the fact that you are talking about anything about this LGBTQ thing. It is the point we are raising. That is the point. Look, you change or you take away the word misdemeanor from this one, from the Akufo-Addo bill. You take away the clause second-degree felony from the Akufo-Addo bill. This is the point we are talking about. So we will run you through the whole 31 issues we are raising. And then the point we are doing is that, so if you knew the bill was not complete, why were you saying Akufo-Addo was the delay or the blockade? Why did you lie to everybody? Why did you mobilize the entire country against this innocent man? And now you come to power, and now you are now doing the things that people were drawing your attention to, and you didn't want to listen.
I see. Honorable, finally, before you go, and that is on the point of the lacuna or the opening that these amendments give to people who may want to hide behind the fact that they are exempt to promote the activities. There's a mention of people who are doing their work professionally, as in a manner that does not.
I think I responded to you. Are we saying that the AIDS Parliament bill would have arrested a doctor that is administering medication to an LGBTQ person? Is that what we were saying?
No, it couldn't be.
It couldn't be. So why do you put the exemption there? The point is that you don't give room. The science principle that says that anything has the potential of going bad if you don't correct it. You don't give room. You don't create this. You don't even draw the attention here for somebody or for somebody to hide. You know, people we are dealing with are intelligent. They know. They are also. They read. They know. These people are clever and crafty. So when you create this room for them, you are giving them an opportunity. When you create room for them, and that is where we have a problem with. We are not saying that, hey, if the whole country and the house thinks that it is okay, that's fine. But the point we are making is that, look, you knew this, yet you were pushing Akufo-Addo to sign a bill which was not completed, a bill which would have been fake, a bill which would have had problems. So if today they are telling you that, oh, we want the medical professionals to do their work without anything, we want that, then it means that Akufo-Addo didn't sign, because if he had signed that one, that means that you couldn't have done your work. So if you have any glory or any chance, you should thank Akufo-Addo for saving the entire country. For not signing a bill that would have implicated a medical person or a professional from performing his professional work.
Great.
If you understand my argument.
Maybe perfectly do. Honorable, thank you. But before you go, I know that I said it would be my last question, but this will be my final one. So does this new bill, does it reduce or does it change the fatality, if you like, that the previous one had with its amendments and with its conditions? And is it the thinking of the minority that the NDC or the majority pushed through with this bill as it is now, with all the amendments that have been made, that is said to be watering down the bill? Did the NDC push it through to appease certain functions internationally, perhaps?
Okay, so I'll answer this in two folds. It depends on where you are looking at it from. And like I told you, the entire bill has clauses borrowed from other acts and laws or legal regimes. So many of the things we are seeing, we can find them in other areas. So they are not issues. Now, the ones that the bill itself comes to address is the propaganda bit, the advocacy bit. Now, that is where you are giving exemptions. So the point is that if you give exemptions, then the potency of the bill you championed, you have watered it down. That is my argument. That is the thinking of some of us. Now, I am saying that you were not ready to listen to the international organizations, NGOs, European Union, because I knew European Union wrote to them, a new UN wrote to them, a new international organization wrote to them. After you got all this correspondence, now you come to give exemptions. I don't know though, but I am tempted to put 1, 2 together and think like the way you are thinking. I don't know if you understand me. I don't know. I cannot say for a fact. But I'm saying that now you are listening to people and you are giving them room. What changed? Because the hot-headed Sam George then was not ready and willing to give any concessions. Anybody. Why now? Why now? Some process, the entire clause has been deleted without replacing it. Why did you do that? Why did you do that? Is it because you are now engaging and people are getting into you? And now you are sober because you have won power, so you can now listen to dissenting views? That's the point. It is basically my questions, my arguments.
I see.
So it answers your question depending on where you are looking at it from. It's not make an explicit statement because I am not there. I mean, let me place on record that I am not a member of the committee. I am not a sponsor of the bill, but I am a member of parliament. The report came to parliament. I got the report. I took my time to read the report. Then I requested for the bill, the 8th Parliament bill. Then I put A to B, and noticed that these things are not the same. These things are not the same. I drew leadership attention to it. Then they called in team, who is the sponsor of the bill. We discussed. In fact, we didn't even know that they were going to move they're going to do the bill that day. We didn't even know. We didn't even know they wanted to pass the bill that day. Let me tell you one shocking thing. When we noticed that they had done some insertions, in team signaled he's going to withdraw the bill. And tell you on authority, the MPP decided to withdraw the bill. And don't forget that the 10 people who sponsored the bill, 6 are from MPP, 4 are from NDC. On that day, because it was not prior advertised, all 4 members of the NDC who sponsored the bill were not in the room. None of them were in the room. 5 out of 6 of the MPP sponsors of the bill were in the room. So they could have withdrawn the bill. So when they saw we were mobilizing, when they saw our leadership were all moving into the chamber, so we mobilized. Then quickly they started moving. Plus one, yeah. And then they moved finally. And you see, before you even a private member bill, a sponsor of the bill must finally do the last submission. There was nobody there to do the last submission. So the Court did that on their behalf. So there are technical issues to this whole thing. And I heard somebody also raising quorum issue. I was in the room. We were 23. We were not even 30. I don't know where the other guy got the 33 number he was mentioning. We were 23. I counted. I told him. And I shouted in the room that we are only 23 here. Mention it. So it should tell you that there is something which I cannot put my mind and hand or head to.
Right.
But it is not as it is. And you victimize somebody, you come into power, and now you begin to make changes. And that is where the problem is. That is, for me, the insincerity, for me, the hypocrisy, and for me, taking everybody out in this country for a ride. You win political power, and now you change your stance. That is the business of the point. It's not as if we are against the bill. We are okay, we are fine, but we must point out these inconsistencies.
Right. Honorable, thank you so much for your time with us on the program.
Thank you.
The Honorable Asafwe J is the Member of Parliament for Bosome Freho, speaking with us there.